Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and welcome to a hot summer night. Alright, yes, it's the first day of September, but yesterday was the last 2 days of August. August 30 to 31st, alright, was Sierra Nevada Moto Championship 2025 Round 3, alright, at Desert Park Raceway in Reno. They're all there, okay, guys? That's where the track is at. That's where, like, the only supermoto racing there is, okay, guys? In NorCal, anyways, at the moment. So yeah. Hey, so this is the third round, and HadesOmega raced it on the Light Bee and Ultra Redshift SM39. Okay, so and yeah, this is the third race of the season. Check the other ones out, right? I don't know what order I'm putting them in. It's kind of that time of year where there's so many races, HadesOmega can't keep up with putting them online. Okay, so anyway, so this is the after action review for that race. Okay, it was 30 and 31st. All right, we went there. I went there on the 29th. All right, we loaded the Light Bee and the Redshift up. All right, and so the weather was pretty nice the first day. They said it had been like raining the whole week. Like it would be hot and then it would rain. It's like Reno just has that weird weather, man. Okay, but the weather during when I got there on the Friday. All right, Friday's like kind of like an open practice day, or it's kind of like a travel day. And you can go there and camp and all that good stuff. So I went there on Friday to set the pit up, basically, and then so we'd be ready for the next day. Okay, it's Labor Day weekend also, so the traffic, there was some kind of traffic along the way. All right, it didn't take me too long. It took yeah, that's funny. I saw one of my Facebook posts and it said it took me 6+ hours to get here because of their Labor Day freaking traveling traffic. Well, it wasn't that bad this time around. It was about 5+, okay, about 5 hours. All right, so not too bad. All right, I filled up with gas at Costco, and then I went to the Mavericks and grabbed some food. All right, and then we headed on over to Desert Park Raceway. Okay, and then so I set up the pits. Yeah, and then got ready for the next day. So I decided to take, wham! All right, for this race, I decided to take this guy. All right, this is the old Lightspeed Bikes 32 amp hour battery. All right, it has the moly cells and all that good stuff, but it's degraded. All right, I don't use it for racing anymore. All right, I mean I could use it for racing, but it heats up faster and it loses charge faster, right? Because one of the cells is bad in it. All right, but I can still use it for practice. All right, so that's what I use it. I brought this over for practice, so I only brought this one, and I brought my Qi battery. All right, my Chai battery. Gladiator 72 compact battery. I also did bring my new Pulsar battery to see if I can get it to fit in the bike, and I'm still working on it, guys. All right. I bought this new battery. It has the same specs as this Qi battery. All right, it's a Qi battery also, but it's smaller. All right, and they made it wider and shorter. But yeah, they made it shorter, but they made it wider so it doesn't fit the bike. I wanted to actually use that battery this weekend, but I couldn't get it to fit in the bike. All right, so and then I would have to modify the connector. I'm up in the air if I'm going to sell it or not. Okay, so that's a scoop with the battery situation. HadesOmega wants to have 2 race batteries, but I don't. I only have 1 race battery and 2 kind of practice batteries. All right, I can't really push these batteries as hard as that one. All right, that's a badass battery. All right, so far, I haven't been able to overheat it. I've come close. That's what I'm gonna say, but yeah, it's been pretty good. Good to me. What have I done on the bike since last time? I don't think I did anything to the bike. Yeah, I didn't really do anything. I guess I took a drag racing this week. So yeah, so it's actually my 2nd race this week. All right, guys. So that's a scoop. Yeah, I raced Wednesday night drags, and then I went there. Then I went to the race during the weekend. So I actually took this drag racing earlier in the week. All right, no. It hit a 17.2, okay, guys? Nothing super impressive. I mean, that's pretty fast for a Sauron, I guess. Oh, so last time I got the bigger brake for this guy, all right? So now we got good brakes, okay? I don't have to worry about not having enough brakes, which is great, all right? Oh, yeah, and then yeah, we took the Redshift, and I'm not gonna lie, I looked at the tires, and I'm like, man, you're really only gonna get 1 more race out of this, okay, guys? And it's already done, man. I'm gonna tell you that, man. Definitely after the race, it was done. All right. But yeah, that was a scoop. We took the Redshift. We're gonna race the Light Bee in SM3 like we did in round 2, and then we're gonna race the Redshift in SM2, all right, which is a supermoto amateur, basically, all right. It's the not pros racing the bigger bikes with the dirt, okay. So I want to talk about the track setup. It's a little bit different than last time. It's much shorter, all right. It's much shorter, and it features an asphalt joker lap, okay, guys. So they made all the championship classes race with this goofy joker lap, all right. I kind of like it. It makes things interesting, all right. And they only do it on the final race, okay, guys. If you don't know the race format, it's if you haven't been keeping up with my videos, all right. They have practice on Saturday morning, and then they have qualifying, right, or they call it Super Pole. And then whoever's got the fastest times grids you for race 1, all right. Race 1 is in the afternoon, all right, after lunch on Saturday. And then Sunday, we have a warm-up practice, and then we have a sprint race, all right. And then the sprint is basically like a heat race. And then your position in the heat race grids you for race 2, okay. So yeah, and so that's how it works, okay, guys. So I got the pit all set up and everything. I did not go practice on Friday at all. All right, usually I might, if I do something to the bike and I want to test it before the race, then I'll do it that Friday night. All right, but I didn't do anything. I didn't really do much to the bike. All right, I think all I did to the light V was I tightened the chain a little bit. All right, I probably should go check the chains out again. I do know that the chain on the Redshift is kind of loose. All right, that's surprising because I've never after this race, all right, guys, surprise, all right, the chain was kind of loose on the Redshift, right? So I've never had that problem before on the Redshift, right? The Redshift has been like super reliable, but I guess that all that jumping and stuff might have stretched the chain or something, all right? So I'll have to check that out, but I haven't checked it out yet, all right? Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go talk about. Let's just talk about the Light B first, and then I'm gonna talk about the Redshift second, all right? So SM3, SM2. So SM3 was what we raced in the Light V. That's basically Super Mini, all right? A Super Mini class, and it's a Supermoto class with the asphalt and the dirt, all right? So I chose to do all the dirt racing, okay, guys? And it's a lot. It's too much. I did 3 before, and it's too much. It's too much for me to handle, all right? The races are too long, and I can't keep up. You know, I get too tired. All right, my endurance isn't there, all right, guys. Because the races are kind of long. I think they were saying was like 14 or 15 minutes for the main races, right? Like race 1 and race 2, and I think it's like 8 minutes for the sprint race. Okay, so it's like the races are like twice as long as they used to be almost. So just want to say, okay. But anyway, I got the results right here, and I'll just go over them real quick, and I'll try to, if I can recollect what happened. All right, that's why I want to do this right after the race. Okay, guys. So yeah, it was the morning, and so we did practice. Okay, so I threw this battery, all right, the practice battery on there, and I did as much practice as I could. My plan was to practice with this bike, all right, because I have this battery, and then don't practice with the Redshift, all right, because it's the same course anyways. But it's always good to ride both of the bikes to see how they react, all right, guys. And then also the course, all right. Let me mention the course before the practice, all right. The course was it's the same course, but they took out the turn 4 and 5, all right. So from 3. You do a short 3 and then a long. You do a short 3 and then you go back on the long 3, but you go back on 6. Okay, guys. So they pretty much effectively cut the track in half. All right, guys. And it's like and there's a lot of turns now. All right. It's kind of difficult. I mean, it's not difficult, but it's more work. All right. You're just constantly turning and stuff. All right. And it actually makes it better for the smaller bikes. Okay, guys. So there was that. So they were going to use the turns 4 and 5. All right. I'll put a picture of what I'm talking about up here. Okay. So 4 and 5. Okay. I circled it. All right. In the picture. And then this is the regular course. Okay. So the 4 and 5 is the Joker lap. Okay, guys. So that's where in the last race, you have to go on the Joker lap once. All right, so you have to take the long lap once. All right, and then everyone has to do it though, so it makes it fair and it makes it interesting. All right, because it's kind of like shuffling the cards a little bit. All right, yeah. So it also kind of makes it more dangerous, is what we found out at the end. All right, I'll get to that. All right. So that was the configuration, the track, and then the dirt section was just the same dirt section from last time. Okay, so that was the difference. The track was like half the asphalt, but it's the same dirt track, right? And we don't do the dirt Joker like we did last time, all right? So that's no longer on the course. Okay, so yeah. So practice goes along. Okay, free practice. I think free practice is the first. On the first day, only 3 of us went out, all right, guys. And then Nick Chick was the fastest with the 109. Tom's best time was a 110, and mine was a 115, dude. Okay, of course it's a 115, because I had the slower battery, all right? Because if I had the slower battery, I put it in mode 2, all right? And then, yeah, so that's how I got my practice in. I did a total of 6 laps, all right? Quite a bit. Nick did like twice as many laps, and then Charles and Dean and Jordan, okay, they're the other ones that were racing in this class, and they didn't go out at all because they don't have any transponder numbers. Okay, so so I should be. So far, I'm 3rd fastest. Okay, guys, in the SM3. All right, we're talking about a light B. All right, I didn't go out on the Redshift also, by the way. Okay, and then so Super Pole rolls around. All right, so we switch the battery. All right, we take this battery out and we put that battery in, all right, and then I put it in race mode 3, which is 30 kilowatts, all the power, everything, all right, because we want to win, right? Type of thing. We want that power. So it's basically they changed the Super Pole or qualifying. They just made it a qualifying session instead of they used to do it where they set you out. You would go out and then you would do your warm up lap, and then you do 2 laps. And then you do a cool down lap, all right? It's almost like 3 or 4 laps, right? So, but instead they set us out in intervals, all right, or whenever you can get out there, I guess. And then you just go out there and then you do your qualifying, all right? You just try to get your best lap times, all right? I feel that's more simple and it kind of wastes less time doing that way, okay? But yeah, you have to be strategic, all right? So if you're going out and doing like a qualifying session, you got to be strategic. You can't go out there playing with people. You can't be out there racing with people. Your goal is to race yourself, all right? To get your best time, all right, guys? So what time did HadesOmega put in? I put in a 114, all right? The 114 gave me 4th place. Okay, so Dean Rabidou on a CRF 150R, or they're all CRF 150Rs, guys, okay? Everybody else was racing 150Rs, all right, Honda CRF 150R, this Honda cheater bikes, all right? And then only Charles Overton was racing a Honda CRF 230R. Yeah, man, HadesOmega was just racing a sea of Hondas, okay, guys? It's Sauron versus Honda, okay? Basically, that's what I would call this race, okay? Alright, but I managed to put in a 114. Dean Rabidou got the best time with the 107. Dude, Dean was like 7 seconds faster than me, okay? And then Tom put in a 110. Alright, I'm not going to go over the microseconds and all that stuff. Nick Chick put in a 112. Charles Overton put a 116. And I put a 114. I don't know why my name is not before Charles's name, but I should be faster than Charles. So I came in 4th place, okay? And then Charles came in 5th with the 116. And then this Jordan, one of them kids on the 150R didn't get any times, okay? So, okay, yeah, so what does that mean? We grid 4th, all right? We're gridding 4th for thing. And I also want to mention that, during practice, we already skipped a bit, all right, but we're going back, all right, guys. I think it was during practice or it was during qualifying, 1 to 2. I think it was the Supermoto asphalt class, all right. It's the big bikes just racing on the asphalt. Well, I see Owen crash or something on turn 3, all right, turn 3, where now there's a chicane. It's not a turn anymore, all right. and I see his bike down on the ground, and then he kind of books it back to the pits, and then we see this long trail of oil all over all over the pits, and then his bike is just puking oil all over the pits. All right, so what had happened was that Owen's bike, all right, Owen has a Sierra 450R, okay, these freaking Hondas, man, they're everywhere. It just puked all its oil out. Fortunately, he didn't starve the engine. All right, it was okay. He caught it before, but apparently the Sierra 450R has this teeny tiny little drain plug, and it fell out. It came off of the bike. Right. So what he had done after Tech, he did an oil change. All right, and so Tech didn't catch it. They couldn't catch it because it was after they teched. Okay. Yeah, you're not really supposed to do anything. Not really supposed to do anything after you tech your bike, but what he should have done was he should have put some RTV or a safety wire, or he should have secured that drain plug. The gist of it is he didn't secure the drain plug enough, and it came out, and the oil was all over the track and all over the pits. All right, so they had to clean up the track. It took like an hour. It seemed like it took like an hour. Maybe it only took like half an hour. Yeah, probably only half an hour. They had to red flag the qualifying or practice, whichever one it was. I don't remember. And yeah, we just had everyone just sitting in the pits. I remember I didn't even go out yet. Yeah, I was ready to go out, and then nobody else went out because they had to clean the track up. Right, they had to clean up all the oil and everything. Fortunately, when it was my turn to go on the track, I didn't really notice any oil on the track. I didn't really slip and slide anywhere. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so yeah, I put in a 4th place. Okay, so in the race 1, all right, after lunch, we start the race, all right, and I got the number 4 position, and I like the number 4 position. Also, I want to mention that I know I'm just talking about the Light Bee right now, but my race on the Redshift is right after the Light Bee race, okay, so it's a back-to-back. It kind of sucks. The good thing is I get a 5-minute break in between, so I guess they understand that people do multiple races, and they need a break, and they need time to swap bikes and all that stuff, so that's good. All right, I like that. Have a little break. Okay. The race 1 comes along, and I'm racing against. I'm on the 4th position. All right, and boom, I get it. All right, I get the whole shot. All right, my bike is the whole shot machine. Right, and I'm on the right side. So what I've learned at this track is the odds are on the left, and the evens are on the right. Okay, I'm talking about the grid positions. All right, guys. So it's like this is 1st place. All right, and this is 2nd place. All right, I know it's flip flop. It's okay. It's the other way around, right? The evens. All right, the ones that are on the right side start from the they start from the other half, the outside half of the track. All right, so if you're not really fast. If you're really fast, then you want to be on the inside. But if you're not really fast and you want more freedom to like do whatever you want, provided you can pass everybody, what I found out is that the even side is the best. All right, because you can go right, and then everyone's gonna try to go into the center to park it, to park the inside, and then you can just scoot on the outside, all right? And it's also easier to pass everybody from the right side because everybody wants to go inside. That's what I learned, all right? I know that because when we race the Redshift, we'll find that out later. Okay, guys? Anyway, so in race 1, I take off, and I get a really good start, and I'm killing it, man. I'm in front of everybody. I think the first lap I was doing really good, and then everybody starts passing me. It's the same story. Everyone starts passing me. I slow down too much on the corners. All right, my bike is like, it's too fast, man. and yeah, and then so at some point, I can't remember, man. I can't remember, but I think on the first lap, I think I had the first lap. All right, I was P1 first lap. Oh yeah, you know what? I can find out here. Anyway, I did pretty good for a couple laps, and then Charles passed me. All right. I'm not sure if it was the 1st or 2nd lap. I think Dean passed me. Yeah, I think it was the 1st lap. We're going into the dirt section, and then I think Dean passes me just as I go into the dirt section. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, HadesOmega is slow going into the dirt section because I don't jump the first jump. All right, guys, I roll the first jump and then I jump the second jump, and I don't have enough speed to clear it too. I've never cleared any of them. All right, guys. So I'm working on it, guys. So I'm working on it. I know I can. I know the bike can do it. The question is, can I do it? All right. I'm not gonna lie. I've attempted it before and I've screwed up, and you could get totally messed up if you screw up, right? You bottom out, and you bounced off the bike, and you can get seriously hurt or crash. Okay, guys, if you don't jump the whole thing, all right? But apparently, HadesOmega is the only one that can't jump it now, all right? I'll work on it in the next race, all right, guys? But we were going into dirt. I think Dean passes me, and then. And I think maybe on the second jump, Tom passes me, and so I'm following Tom because I was first, right? I'm first place going into the dirt, and then Dean passes me, all right? Because I'm slow going into the dirt apparently, all right? I hate to say that. HadesOmega is usually one of the faster riders in the dirt, but not anymore, okay, guys? Because I can't clear this freaking jump section, all right? I don't like it. Yeah, HadesOmega needs to practice it, but I don't got enough time to practice it too, you know. Dean passes me, and then when we get to he gets to the first berm, all right. And Tom gets in front of me in the second jump. I think we were pretty much side by side. I think I tried to shortcut. Usually when I'm close to somebody, this is what I do, guys. All right. When I'm close to somebody, I don't take the berm. I know the berm is faster, okay, guys. If you can carry your speed through the berm, it's faster, but it's shorter. If you flat track the inside, all right, you slide your bike into the inside, and you take the inside, all right. It's actually shorter, all right, but it's shorter, but it's slower, all right. Where the other one, but like it gives you a chance to maybe you can make it up and pass them, all right, guys, because they're going on the outside and you're taking a shorter route, all right. But you have to flat track it basically, all right. And yeah, so that's what I did, I think, or I might have been right behind Tom, and Tom just eats it in front of me. Right, he goes down, and then I was like, oh shit, Tom took a pretty nasty spill, and I think what happened was the front went or something, or he went over the berm or something, and then down Tom went, and I was able to avoid him. I went around him, and then it was just me and Charles racing, and then I think we go another like 2 laps. And then we go another lap or 2 laps, and then I hear a bike behind me. All right, I'm thinking that, oh damn, Tom's catching up to me. All right, because I can hear a bike right behind me. It's getting closer and closer. Okay, guys, and I'm thinking, man, Tom is trying to catch up because Tom is pretty fast. All right, remember he's like, I think he's the second place on the Super Bowl, right? No, I think he's the second place he was the second place on the Super Bowl. Let me see. Yeah. He's P2 on the Super Bowl. So yeah, Tom should be pretty fast, right? But anyway, I get to the dirt section, and I know, oh man, here we go. We're in the dirt section, and I'm going in hella slow, so I can roll the jump, and then it turns out, the bike is right behind me, but he doesn't pass me because I think he knows they're going to roll the jump, and he doesn't. It's kind of dangerous if somebody rolls a jump and then somebody jumps it right next to you because they could land on top of you, right? So apparently it was Charles with the 230 right behind me, and he was getting ready to pass me, all right? And then I don't think he passed me. I'm not sure. We make it out to I forget where. Somewhere we got red flagged, all right? So what happened? That's what happened in the first race. So after about the halfway point of the race, we got red flagged, all right? So what happened was that Tom went down, but also Jordan went down, the guy all the way in the back. He went down, and he had a hard. I guess he had a hard time getting up, and he couldn't continue to race. So they red flagged the race, all right? And so since it was around like the halfway point of the race, we had to do a restart, all right? So we restart, and then so you remember Tom crashed, so he was like in the back somewhere, all right? Would he have caught up to us? Maybe, all right? But yeah, he crashed, and he has to make up the difference, and it was actually Charles that was behind me, but they red flagged the race, all right? So we do a restart, and then Tom gets to go back to where his position was before. So I kind of got screwed, all right? I got screwed because of the red flag, all right? So the race got restarted, and I don't think I got a very good start this time, and then at the end of the race, I wound up behind Charles. Okay, guys. So I wound up 5th. All right, I wound up 5th behind Charles. All right, so Dean got 1st place, Nick got 2nd place, Tom got 3rd, Charles got 4th, and I got 5th. Okay, so what happened? I can't remember. Check the video out, but I know somehow Charles got in front of me, and then I was trying to chase him down or something. Yeah, I must have had a slip or something. I'm not gonna lie, the traction out there wasn't good. All right, at least not for me with these tires. All right, guys. I've never felt really confident riding any of these bikes at Desert Park Raceway. The grip is just awful, man. And the bike just wants to slip and slide everywhere. Okay. Anyway, so that was the first day of racing for the Light Bee. All right. On the second day, we do the Super Pole. I skipped the warm-up practice. All right, guys. Oh yeah. Also, I practiced during the night. I went out and I bullied the kids. All right. So I saw a bunch of kids riding out there, and I was like, oh, I want to go ride with them. And I went out there and I was playing with them. All right, guys. So check that practice video out if you want to see HadesOmega bully little kids on the track. Okay, with the Light Bee and the Redshift too. All right. And so we're still talking about we'll talk about the Redshift later. Okay, so the next day we have the fast race. Okay, so the fast race is just pretty much like half of the main race, right? The race 1 and race 2. Okay, so I start in the 4th position again. All right, since that's what I qualified in, and boom, we go, and I'm killing it, right? I'm killing it again on the start. At least I think I am. and then for that race, I was in the back again. So Jordan came back. All right, Jordan was he felt better, so he went back to race with us again. All right, but he still wound up last. But it was me and Charles racing again. All right, guys, and I can't quite remember. Charles got in front of me, and we were racing. And then the final lap, all right. So on the final lap, this is what I won't forget this one, all right. So on the final lap, it's me and Charles. I think Charles gets in front of me in the jumps, all right. Just a little bit though, and he takes the outside. Obviously, he's gonna take the outside, all right. The fastest person usually takes the berm. So I try to flat track, all right. I flat track the inside, and I take the inside, and then so I take the inside twice, right. There's 2 berms, right? And I take the inside. I say screw the berms. I'm going to take the shorter way because that's the only way I'm going to pass Charles in the dirt. Because if you're on the berms together, you get no chance to pass. You have to follow them into the berm, all right? Your only hope if you're behind them is that you can probably get out of the berm faster and then maybe come out side by side. So, but if you take the shortcut, if you take the inside, you can ride side by side with them, all right? And that's your chance. That gives you a passing opportunity, all right? I always do it, all right? So that's HadesOmega's strategy, okay, guys? If someone takes the berm, I take the inside. I flat track the inside, all right? I'm pretty proficient at it, as I want to say. I'm not gonna lie. I probably could be better, all right? What I do is I take the instead of taking the berm, I point my bike towards the inside, and I speed up. I use the rear brake or the regen to lock up the rear, and I slide it until it stops, and then I get back on the throttle, and I try to rocket up it's a little hump, all right, and then there's another shortcut. It's much shorter if you don't take the berm, actually, all right. And then I do the same thing where I flat track the inside basically, all right, and so the flat tracker skills would definitely come in handy here. That's what I say, right? So I have to take the inside. I'm slower, but it's shorter. But Charles messes up, all right? Charles messes up, and he goes. Oh, he told me he went over the berm. I thought he he messed up or something, and he slowed down on the berm because I could hear him. He was like yelling or something. What he told me is, yeah, he went over the berm, and then we came out at the same time. He still came out in front of me. He still came out in front of me, but I was right behind him, all right? I was right on his tail, right on his tail when we got out of the dirt, all right? And then so we took the last couple of chicanes, and he was right. And yeah, so I'm trying to pass him on the straight, and I'm pulling up, and I'm about like half a bike length behind him, all right? I'm like right here, all right? Right here, all right, guys? This is me and this is Charles, right? and we crossed the finish line like that. All right, it's kind of hard to see the finish line too. They need to repaint that thing, man. I can't really tell. Oh, okay. So here, I'll tell you this. What other drama happened in the sprint race? Okay, guys. I got too excited. All right, I was in first place for a while. Okay, guys. Yeah, I was in first place for the first couple laps, and sometimes I get too excited and I go into the corner too fast, and sometimes I blow the last couple. There's a chicane that goes to the straight. Sometimes I go too fast into it, and sometimes I jump the berm. There's a curb there. All right, it's kind of like it's a curb, but it's like it looks like a loaf of bread. Okay, and if you can actually jump the loaf of bread, and then you can just you can shortcut the chicane. All right, sort of kind of, but it's off the track boundaries. All right, that's what they told me. All right, if you go inside the curb, then that's off track boundaries, and you're gonna get So okay, this is what they told me. The race official told me that you're allowed one warning. All right, you can cut the track once. All right, and then if you do it again, they dock you like a position or something. Okay, so or I think the rule is if you pass somebody because you took that shortcut, then they won't let you give they'll position you behind them after the race. Okay, guys, but anyway. I knew, so here's what happens, all right, guys. So I go up into the tower, and then and I tell them, oh no, I think they asked me like, so they actually told me, you know what, Merlin, you actually beat Charles in that race. You were ahead of him by 0.002 seconds, all right. So that's how close we were, okay. So the way that the scoring works, all right, is it works by RFID tag, all right? So I have my RFID tag. It's on the top of my helmet, all right? That's where it is on my bike, all right? Really, the optimum place to put it is on your fender, all right, guys? Because it's the front of the bike, all right? I don't know where Charles put his freaking RFID tag, all right? But I remember when we crossed the finish line, I was half a bike length behind him. At least I think so. All right, I'll have to look in the video. Yeah, actually, I'll show you a video clip of that. Okay, that's how close the finish was. All right, and I'm coming. Then the funny thing is, I'm coming on the outside, and he's looking to the left. All right, he's thinking I'm gonna come from the left, but I went from the right. I came to pass him on the right, and I was pulling on him. And Charles 230 is no joke. It's fast, man. They freshened up the top end, and it is a fast bike now, man. I couldn't beat it on the KLX, and apparently I can't beat it on the Light B either, man. It is a force to be reckoned with now. All right, and he's got good tires, so yeah, man. So. I remember I crossed the finish line half a bike length behind them, but they said you actually got it, Merlin. But because you cut the track twice, you can't let you pass them, all right? And then they said, like, well, since Jordan was way behind, there's no way that even if you got some kind of penalty, there's no way he would have caught us, all right? So Jordan was like way back there. That there's no way he would have caught me with any kind of penalty, all right? So I wound up becoming 5th in that race, all right? But I also told them, hey, yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost that race, man. I was like half a bike length behind him when we crossed the finish line. I remember, like, I have it on camera too, and I was just like, yeah, just give it to him. He earned it. So I let Charles have it, okay, guys? Well, it's not that I let them have it. They were going to penalize me anyways, all right? So if I hadn't done that, and honestly, I don't think it would have made much of a difference because I probably would have got passed anyways. So I won't cut the track anymore, guys, all right? But sometimes it's fun. Sometimes I like doing it. It's fun. I like hopping the curb and then just going straight, all right? I did it in the last race, but only did it once, okay, guys? So, yeah, I hate that. I hate the last turn, okay, guys? And it's double worse coming out of the dirt because your bike is in an awful position. All right, is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I hate the last turn of Desert Park Raceway, man. Anyway, so that was the sprint race. All right, and then also what was? Yeah, you know what? So another thing about the sprint race is that they messed up the grid position. So the rules state, all right, from what I remember from the last two rounds, that you're when you get your qualifying position, you keep that position until the final race. Okay, yeah, until the final race. So I got 5th place on race 1, and then so they posted up the grids the next day, and they're actually the results for the race 1. All right, so they bumped me down from position 4 to position 5, but they shouldn't have done that. Because of the qualifying, I should have been 4th no matter what. All right, I could have lost the race. I could have been last or whatever, and I still would have been 4th for the sprint race. Okay, but because of that, I don't know. Charles lined up on the 4th position, and I told him, hey, they revised the grid position and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, I'm not, and I was like, and so he I guess he didn't look at the new grid or whatever, and so he lined up in the 4th spot. All right, but he was actually supposed to line up in the 5th spot, and I was supposed to be in the 4th spot. All right, so that kind of screwed me in the sprint race too. All right, because I had to cut in front of Charles. Yeah, I had to cut in front of Charles to get in front of him. I did it on 2 races, guys. All right. Yeah. Anyway, at the start of the sprint race, we take off, and I don't want to go left. I want to go on the outside. All right. I want to be on the outside of everybody. So what I do is I cut in front of Charles. I go like this. All right, because I know my bike can do it. All right. But this time, I guess Charles got a pretty good start, and I almost hit him. Like I just zoomed right in front of him. All right. I was really close to hitting him. I don't know if he had to hit the brakes or whatever. He said I was really close. Like he said he was about to hit me or something. All right, but I don't think it was that close. All right, but it was pretty close. I almost brushed up on him, is what I want to say. But I think I got the whole shot because of it. All right, and then anyway, so that means our position in the main race, the final race, is 5. Okay. But that was a pretty epic finish, all right. The last lap, both of us messed up in the dirt section, and then Charles barely came out in front, and I had to kind of drag race him at the end, and I lost. Okay, guys, that's what happened in the sprint race. Check it out; it was pretty epic, man. Okay, and then so after that is lunch, and then the main race. All right, the super finals, what they call it, or race number 2. All right, so in race number 2. What happens? So in race number 2, we're going to do the Joker lap, all right, the asphalt Joker lap. So that means all the asphalt classes can do Joker laps, and all the dirt classes, the Supermoto dirt classes, can do the Joker lap too. So that's why they want to do that. All right. So basically, what it is at turn 3. I'll show you a picture of it right now. Okay, at turn 3. There's you'll see the GPS tracks. They go like this, right? The one goes left and one goes right. So there's a hay bale with a tire on it that says Joker, and it says pointing to the right. Okay, guys, and I actually practiced it the day. Yeah, I practiced the Joker the evening practice. So it's a good thing I did, because what I learned is you have to slow down a lot. You have to slow down, 100%. You have to slow down, because if you go too fast, you'll blow the entrance to the Joker lap, because you got to go to the right of the hay bale, and then you'll have to enter. You'll get penalized. All right, you missed the entrance, right? So you took a shortcut. You went behind the bale and you took the thing. All right, you're not supposed to do that. All right, I found that out because somebody got one of the Applegates got penalized for it. Okay, but yeah, you have to slow down. And then you have to go through this section that's barely, like a bike can barely fit through it, all right? The entrance and the exits to the Joker lap, only one bike can fit. So it's in your best interest to not totally follow somebody in there, or just make sure you go in there by yourself, all right? That's the best thing to do, all right? Or if you get a good distance, all right? So what we're finding out is that it's not a good idea to have the Joker lap when there's a lot of people, all right? If you're around a lot of people, and then one of them wants to go do the Joker lap, and everyone, you do this kind of crisscross thing, all right, where you guys cross paths and stuff, and then you could have a crash there. Okay, so we found out it's kind of dangerous. All right, I seen it happen. I seen it happen in front of me. I think, yeah. So that's what happened. So we take off, and I didn't get a good start because I was in the 5th position. I tried to pass I tried to pass Charles again. All right, I think I passed him, but I couldn't get around. Usually I get the whole shot, but I didn't get the whole shot this time. And it was Dean. I think it was Dean and Nick, and then I think I was behind Nick or something. All right, I was in the 3rd position, and then we go to turn 3, and then I remember it because Dean was wearing like a white jersey. Dean was in front, and then I just see Dean go. We're all going to go left, and I'm not planning to really go through the Joker, and I just see Dean just go left, and then he goes right away. I don't know how he did it. It was kind of magical, but he just it's 1 second I see Dean in front of me, and then the next he's going to the right into the Joker, right? So Dean takes the Joker first, all right, and then so he has to play catch up to us, all right. But yeah, it gets kind of all shuffled up because we got to go do the Joker anyways, right? It's either Nick or Tom in front of me in the first lap. Yeah, so Dean took the Joker the first lap, and then we racing through the dirt and stuff. I think I'm pretty sure Tom and Nick passed me somehow, right? And I think around the 3rd lap, what happens is Dean is trying to catch up to everybody, all right? And then I think on the 3rd lap I did the Joker lap. I went into the Joker lap. And I think Charles was right behind me. All right, me and Charles were racing, and I go into the Joker lap, and then I guess Dean was right behind us. I didn't know Dean was right behind us, but what Charles said was that Charles was going to follow me into the Joker lap. All right, so I think Dean was going to try to pass Charles on the outside, but Charles was going to go right. So you can't go to the outside because you're going to cross paths like that. All right, and so I think he was gonna hit Charles. They were gonna cross paths, so I think he braked really hard or something, and then he high-sided. All right, that's what I think happened. I didn't see it, guys. Sorry, but that's what he told me. I think Dean, to avoid hitting Charles, he braked really hard, or he like tucked the front. He did something like that. Okay, and he high-sided the bike. And he got hurt pretty bad. All right, they had to red flag the race. All right, so so okay, back to me. All right, so I'm doing the Joker lap, and I think Charles is behind me, and then I'm ready to go into dirt, and I see a red flag. I'm like, oh, that's it. And then so I just stop right there, and then we're like, what's going on? And then I look back, and I thought Jordan got red flagged again, but it was actually Dean this time. All right, and he was down for a while. All right, he was pretty hurt. They said he might have hurt his pelvis or something, or his hip. He probably broke his hip or something. We don't know. Actually, I don't even know what happened to him after the race. All right, so yeah, that was the last we saw of Dean. All right, so I think we saw him get up. All right, yeah. So they had us go back to the hot pit, all right, the kind of the staging area, and then we had to wait there. And then so what they said, they were going to do a restart because it was like kind of where the halfway point of the race was, right? So we go do the restart, and it's actually better now because Dean's not in front. Dean won't be racing with us, and yeah, Dean is the fastest dude out there, right? So that's the scoop, guys. We take off, and I think I got the whole shot this time. Yeah, I got the whole shot. I had a pretty big lead going into the dirt. I thought I had a pretty big lead going into the dirt. However, yeah, I see everybody behind me, and then people are saying like, hurry up, Merlin, hurry up. So what happened was everybody took, I'm not sure from what I heard, everybody took the Joker lap on the first lap, all right? And I didn't, all right? So, and I'm, okay, and I'm blasting my way through the dirt section and everything. I'm first, and then I think I do the Joker lap on the second lap. I go in there, and I don't think everybody's taking the Joker lap. I thought I was really far ahead because I see everybody is way back there. I was like, damn. Like as I'm getting out of the dirt, I kind of see Tom going into the dirt, and I was like, oh shit. And everybody's telling me to hurry up, go faster. Like, so yeah. And then I go into the Joker lap, and then I exit as I'm exiting the Joker lap. When you exit the Joker lap, you want to look and make sure nobody's coming because you're gonna merge with the traffic, right? and so I look and I see Charles just barely pass. I see Charles pass, and I see Jordan coming up, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just I think I can I kind of see where Jordan's at. And I was like, all right, I can probably pass Jordan. All right, so I take off, and sure enough, I get in front of Jordan before he gets to the exit, and then it's me and Charles racing again. And Charles is like, Charles was a good distance for me. I was trying to catch up as best as I could, but I couldn't make up that distance. I think I was about probably 5 bike lengths behind him, and then that was the end of the race. All right, guys. I thought I was doing hella good, and then apparently everyone took the joke. From what I heard, everybody took the Joker lap on the first lap, and then I did it on the second lap, and then that's what happened, man. I wound up behind everybody, so. Yeah, better luck next time, HadesOmega. The Joker lap gave me a false sense of victory. That's what I say. Right? That's all I'm gonna say. All right? I thought I was ahead, but I wasn't. All right, I wound up being behind Charles again. Shit. Yeah. So anyway, so for the final race, all right, for the super final, I wound up getting fourth. All right, I actually went up because Dean got hurt. Okay, so Dean did not finish. All right, he got a DNF because he had to go to the hospital. I hope he's okay. And then so what happened was Nick Chick wound up being first, Tom Lynn was second, Charles Overton was third, and I came in fourth. Okay, so that's the scoop, guys. So all I can say is I think that was the only race that I was racing with Charles, and I was racing with him the whole weekend. So I had a whole lot of fun racing with Charles because we're about the same speed. All right. Used to be my Light B was hella faster than his 230, and it's not. And I made my KLX faster, and it's still not fast enough to catch up to Charles. Okay, so it was good racing with you, Charles. That's what I want to say. All right. Okay, so that's it for the SM3, the Super Biddy races. Now we go on to the SM2 races. All right, the SM2 is right after the SM3. All right, guys. Okay, so so on Saturday I didn't practice with the Redshift, right? Because I was gonna use that practice battery on the Light B, right? Because I had extra battery, and we're not gonna use it after the practice, okay? So I practiced a lot on the Light B, and I didn't practice on the Redshift, like I mentioned. So the odd thing is they didn't have my times for the Light B in the SM2 class. That's kind of weird, right? How would they know what bike I'm riding because the transponder's not on the bike? Anyway. So I'm not going to go over the practices. I'm going to go over the Super Pole. For a Super Pole qualifying, I qualified 7. All right, I qualified 7, but apparently Owen Ware got the fastest time with the 1:0. I don't understand how these results work, man. These are kind of messed up. I don't know about those times, man. The website has this weird order it's in. All right, but anyway, I qualified 7th. All right, guys. Jason Applegate was first, Jeremy Applegate was second, Owen Ware was third, Tom Lynn was fourth, Errol Smith was fifth, Colton Vesic was sixth, and then here's me in the back with the Redshift in 7th. All right, Mark Monroe was on a Sierra F250. He was in the 8th position, and then George, I don't remember what George was riding, but he got the 9th position. All right, he's a new supermoto rider. Okay, so. He's the guy in the back, so unfortunately, all right. But yeah, he's a cool guy. I was talking to him, but yeah. So I started 7th, all right. And if you remember correctly, the evens are on the right, and the odds are on the left at the start, all right. And I want to be on the right, all right. Unfortunately, we're on the left, so yeah. That means I have to start from the left, and it's harder. It's much harder to get to the front, all right. Is what I'm gonna say. Because you get boxed in if you go on the inside. If you go on the inside with a bunch of bikes, you have no choice but to wait because you can't go anywhere. You can't go out, can't go in. All right, maybe you can go inside into the dirt and stuff if you want, but that's kind of past the track boundary. Or it's like you're cutting. All right, maybe you could do it. I don't know. you get one warning, right? But anyway, what I like to do is I like to start on the outside, jet past everybody, as much people as I can. And then I gain speed. I go while everybody's kind of wrestling to get in that inside in the middle position. I go on the outside, and I get a good thing. All right, because that's what happens in the last race. All right, so remember that. All right. So anyway, so in race 1, all right, guys. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of hurry this up. All right. I'm just these AERs are taking too long. All right. So in race 1, I think I did okay. So I got what happened was I got boxed in again. All right, guys. So I tried to go on the left, and then I got stuck behind all the bikes in the inside, and then everyone went on the outside, right? And then yeah, I was like somewhere in the middle somewhere. Okay. And then the race goes on, and I finish 7th. All right, so I got the I qualified 7th, and I finished 7th. All right, whoop-de-doo, it's not a big surprise. All right, guys, all the other 6 bikes that are in front of me are 450s, right? And I'm riding the Redshift, which should really only be racing against 250s. All right, and then Mark is behind me on a 250, and then George, sorry, I don't remember what he was racing. I think it was a Yamaha. He said it was some kind of dual sport bike. All right, so yeah. So there's that, okay, guys. So that was the race 1, right, after the qualifying, and then so that's the end of day 1 racing. I think it was a pretty clean race, as I want to say. Yeah, no big drama happened. Here's the final results for that race. It was Jeremy Applegate was 1st, Owen Ware finished 2nd, Jason Applegate finished 3rd, Errol Smith was 4th, Tom Lynn is 5th, Colton Vesic is 6th, I'm 7th, Mark Monroe 8th, and George was 9th. Okay, and then we had the sprint race the next morning. Okay, guys. So it kind of happens again. I can't remember. I think I tried to go down the center or something, but it's just the center is just like not. It's kind of like a bad place to be. You don't want to be in the center. All right. You want to be on the outside or all the way on the left. I don't like being in the center because you'll kind of, you'll get shuffled in there type of thing. All right. Well, you get shuffled on the inside too, but so yeah, I got another bad, kind of not so good start. I was stuck in the center again, and then and I came out in the back, and then and everybody's just all racing. I remember the Redshift was like slipping and sliding all over the place. The back was sliding or the front was sliding. I just couldn't get any good traction, man. The traction is just awful at Desert Park, and just my tires are just not soft enough, I guess, man. I can't push it that hard. My back is sliding all over the place is what I'm noticing. And then I knew it, like, yeah, well, we only had one more race left in that tire. Well, I think you used it up already. That's what happened, all right, guys? And I did practice on the Redshift the other evening, too, for a little bit. So what wound up happening was towards the end of the race, all right? So it's a shorter race, right? I see the white flag go up, and I'm like, yeah, I remember the first race was really long, but anyway, this was a shorter race, and then I'm looking back at Mark, and Mark isn't very far from me. Mark is on the 250, right? And I'm like, and then so the last couple laps, I see that I think, yeah, what happened was I started dropping in the pack, and then I think Colton passed me in the dirt. And then, because I can't do the big jumps, man. I can't clear the jumps, right? Well, so what happened was I was chasing Colton for a while, all right, for about maybe like half the race. I was chasing Colton, and then at some point he was pretty far away, man. He was at least maybe 5 or 6 bike lengths away from me, and I was like, whatever, man. You're not gonna catch him, man. So I kind of gave up a little bit, and I slowed down just a little bit, all right. And I just said, like, hey, just kind of just maintain this pace. Don't go too fast. Don't tire yourself out, because I'm already tired, right? Because I already raced the SM3 race, right? And then I'm looking back, and I look at Mark, and you know what? I think Mark is in the 8th position. If we're in the position that we were in before, Mark is in the 8th position. I want that position, because the 8th position is on the outside. All right, I want to start the next race on the outside. So I kind of calculate it, and I do the last 3 laps, I go slower every lap, just a little bit, and Mark even told me, he's like, you got tired at the end, didn't you? You got tired. Well, it's not. He wasn't lying. I mean, he was right a little bit. All right, I was getting tired, but I was slowing down. So and when I got to the dirt section, I rolled off a lot, man. I slowed down a lot, and I hear Mark. He's right behind me, and he passes me. He passes me in the jumps, and so I roll a jump, and I jump, and I chase Mark a little bit through the dirt section, and then I pretty much I let him have the 7th position. All right, guys. I let Mark pass in front of me, and I finished in the 8th position. All right, right behind him, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this out because I want to be on the right side. I want an even number. So for the final race, I start in the 8th position on the right side. All right, so the lights go off. So, another thing about the lights, they changed the lights. All right, the lights are supposed to be red, and then it turns off, and then you go. But it turns red and it turns green. I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for the red to turn off, right? And then I go. I'm not expecting to see like a green come on, all right? So that kind of threw me off a little bit, but I was like, whatever. Once I see the red disappear, I go. You know, it's just like drag racing, all right? But anyway. I'm starting from the right, and so the light goes off, and I twist it, and I'm going as fast. I do the rocket launch, right? I'm doing the rocket launch, and I take off, and I'm on the I get all the way on the outside, and I see all the bikes are on the inside, and I kind of slingshot around all of them, and I come out behind Owen Ware. Okay, Owen Ware. He was in like the 4th or 5th position. Yeah, I was like already like. Probably close to like where the podium positions are, okay, and I remember, I remember on the first lap, I think on the first lap, Owen almost bumps into Tom. I think Tom decides to take the Joker lap, and then Owen almost hits him or something, and so he slows down really hard and lets Tom go to the Joker, and then we just keep on going, take the regular course. I think I took the Joker on the 3rd lap, and but I got a really good start. All right, I was like in the front, like front. All right, yeah, it didn't really help all that much, but it kind of proves my point. All right, guys, if you start on the outside, it's a lot better. So what happened was that everybody gets jam packed in the center, and like you can't do anything. You're kind of just stuck together in a group. You're taking a group ride around the inside of the turn, while I'm just slingshotting around the other end, and I was able to pass most people because you're free to do whatever you want. You can go out, you can go in, you know, you can go in there and bar bang with somebody on the inside. Yeah, I wouldn't do that though. But yeah, I kind of slingshot all the way, and I was like kind of like in the front of the pack for a while. All right, guys, and then yeah, eventually everybody passed me. I think I did the Joker lap on the 3rd lap, and then Colton was behind me. Yeah, at some point, me and Colton were racing, and I take the Joker lap, and then Colton takes the Joker lap behind me, and I think he passed me in the Joker lap, and then it was me following Colton again, and then he kind of slips away again, and I was just like, well, that's it. I guess we're not gonna be. You can't keep up with that 450, Berlin. That 450 power, and that's maybe they just have better tires. Yeah, I remember I was slipping and sliding all over the place. Yeah, I remember that. The back tire and the front tire were sliding. Yeah, man, it was no bueno, man. The Redshift is in dire need of new tires, man. These tires are old, and obviously they're worn out now because there's no more tread on the outside anymore. Okay, so but anyway, I finished that. Yeah. Okay, so I finished 7th again. All right, guys. So at 7th. So here's the final results. Was Jason Applegate got 1st, Owen Ware got 2nd, Jeremy Applegate got 3rd. Ooh, wow, man, Owen was right next to Jason. Errol Smith got 4th, Tom Lynn got 5th, Colton Vesic got 6th, I got 7th, Mark Monroe got 8th, and then George got 9th again. Okay, so. So what did I get? So I qualified 7th. Yeah, so I qualified 7th. I finished 7th on race 1. Then I finished 8th on race the sprint race, all right? The fast race, whatever they call it. And then on the final race, I finished 7th, okay, guys? So even though I had that good start, I kind of blew it, all right, guys? It's like, well, what can I do, man? All the bikes are faster than me. And I can't jump. I can't clear those 2 jumps, man. So everybody's faster than me at the dirt entrance. All right. Take a look at the racing. So I think the final results. Okay. So here's the results for SM3 for round 3. Okay, guys. So I got 0 points for the Super Pole. All right. Only the number 1 position you get 1 point. All right. Whoop-de-doo. All right. So if you get the fastest qualifying time, you get a point. I think you should get something more than that. All right. Anyway, for race 1, I got... Alright, race 1, I got 5th position. That gave me 16 points. Race 2, alright, or the fast race, I got the 5th position again. That gave me 16 points. And then I got the 4th position in the final race because Dean got injured, okay? I got 50 points, alright? So 50 points gave me 4th place. Yeah, so since Dean got injured, it bumped him down into the 4th place position. Yeah. Oh man, Dean was like 1 point ahead of me. How annoying. Oh yeah, you know what? Because Dean got the fastest time. He got that 1 point. Dude, look at this is crazy. I'm looking at the score here. So Dean didn't finish the last race, alright guys? He got no points for the last race because he didn't finish. Because he had to go to the hospitals and because he got injured, right? But he got 1 point for the Super Pole, alright? That 1 point was enough for him to be ahead of me by 1 point, alright? I got 50 points, alright? Dean finished with 51 points, alright? But Charles got 56 points because he got a 5th for the Super Pole, and then he got a 4th, and the 3rd, alright? Everyone got bumped up 1 position because Dean didn't finish the last race. Okay? So that gave me 50 points, and then Charles got 56 points. So Charles was six points ahead of me. So yeah, because Charles got really lucky. Charles got really lucky that Dean got injured. All right, and he got the 3rd place. So good job, Charles. All right, HadesOmega finished 4th, and so yeah, here, yeah, okay. So in SM3, Nick Chick got 1st. Tom Lynn got 2nd. Charles Overton got 3rd. And then Dean got 4th, and then I got 5th, all right, and then Jordan got 6th. Okay, so that's what happened, all right, guys. So I got 5th place. Dean just barely beat me with his 1 point, all right. The 1 point that he got, though, you know what? I was that's the funny thing because I was kind of laughing like, yeah, you get 1 point, big deal. The 1 point made a big difference, all right, guys. The 1 point, me and Dean would have been tied, but no. Dean got that 1 point, put him ahead of me. All right, so he got the 4th place position. All right, but it doesn't matter anyways because yeah. So that's what I want to say. Okay, that's a bummer. I hope Dean's okay. All right, I'll check in on him. But yeah, so that's the scoop. All right. So in SM2, all right, the big bike race. All right, I got 7th place in the Super Pole, the qualifying. All right, I get 0 points because it's only the fastest gets 1 point. I got 7th place in the race 1. That gave me 14 points. I got 13 points in the sprint race or the fast race, and then I got 14 points. All right, so I got so 7, 8, 7. All right, is what I got. All right, 7th for the first race, 8th for the sprint race or the fast race, and then 7th in the super final. All right, so I gave up a point to get a better start on the the last race. All right, guys, that's fine. Whatever. Ooh, I beat Mark by 1 point. Okay. So it was Jeremy Applegate got 1st. Owen Ware got 2nd. Jason Applegate got 3rd. Errol Smith got 4th. Tom Lynn got 5th. Colton Vesic got 6th. Yep, Colton Vesic got 6th. I got 7th. All right, I've been getting that 7 the whole weekend. All right, and then Mark got 40 points. That gave him 8th. All right, and then George got 9th. Okay, so that was the results for SM2. Okay, guys, so I got 7. I got 5th in SM3 and 7th in SM2. All right, so better luck next time, HadesOmega. Okay. Yeah, we're like in the back of the pack, man. I'm not even gonna say we're in the middle of the pack. We're in the back of the pack. All right, HadesOmega is doing awful. All right, this season. What could we do to improve? All right, I think I need better tires, man. This, I hate to say it, I need to get a new front. I need new suspension. I think that's what I need. I'm just not feeling the bike. The bike is just not gripping good. All right, I was slipping and sliding everywhere on the light B. And it's the same story for the Redshift, but I know what the problem with the Redshift is. The Redshift needs better tires, man. 100% needs better tires. Maybe these tires are getting worn out, but I feel they're okay. This is still a really soft tire, man. But yeah, I just not feeling confident at Desert Park Raceway at all, man. I'm not gonna lie. Just the, I remember the last in a couple of the races, the front would just plow, man. I'm like, man, the front is just not gripping. It's not going where I want it to go. And a couple times I went outside when I was going into the dirt. I could feel it understeering. The bike didn't want to turn anymore, and I went wide into the dirt, and I had to flat track the dirt section. I went really wide into the dirt section. All right, there's like a there's a left and a right boundary, and I went outside the right boundary. All right, and there's like rocks and all this crap over there. Yeah, you don't want to be out there. It's not really the track, man. Yeah, I had to take a long thing in there, so I did not feel comfortable with the grip at all, like the whole weekend. All right, and it kind of got worse the later it got. All right, and the temperature was pretty much the same the whole time. It was 80s, 90s. All right, it was actually cooler the second day than the first day. Okay, that's probably why the grip wasn't so good. All right, because it wasn't as warm. All right, but it wasn't that much cooler than the day before. I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys, it was pretty hot this weekend. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I kind of need to get a new fork for this. I like this fork a lot, but it's really expensive. I can't really afford to buy another one. This is the fork that I just repaired from last year. Okay, guys. I bent this fork really bad, and it's not really 100% back to normal. All right, guys. It's kind of on there, and it kind of does its thing, but it gets stuck. All right. It gets stuck in the stroke, and I don't know how to fix it. All right, guys. I just need to buy a new fork for this bike. All right, and then so if I can find like a new Dorado fork, that's what I think that's what I'd like to do, is to get a new fork, because it could be the triple clamp. Maybe the triple clamp is bent or something. I'm not sure, but I feel like I just want to replace the whole fork. Okay. I would like to go with this fork, all right, and then I think my rear shock is not good anymore either, and I tried to get it rebuilt last year. I keep on seeing it leaking oil and stuff, so I don't think the rear shock is good anymore either. So yeah, so I think we got to redo the suspension on this bike. I hate to say it. We got to get new suspension front and back. I'm looking at a Refluxa rear shock, because they sell one with a high speed and a low speed circuits. And I think that would go a lot better with this fork, all right? And actually, I don't even really need that good a fork anymore, honestly. I just need something decent, all right? And but I need it to be stiff, all right? The fork has to be stiff. Yeah, because I need it to be able to handle the jumps. But you know what? I launched the shit out of this, and I bottomed it out a lot of times, trying running up short on the first jump and everything. Because sometimes I'll bounce off of it, and then I'll jump, and I can't clear it, man. The second jump is a super long tabletop, and everyone is clearing it but me, man. But I'm trying to get as much speed as I can, and it's just not helping, man. I'm not getting enough. I can't get enough jump to clear it, man. I've always run up just short, just a little bit, like a few feet, and it's just not enough. And I land really hard on both of the bikes. I remember I landed really hard on this bike. That's probably why the chain stretched on it, man. I was bottoming the shit out of it, man. And I already have the stiffer spring on that bike, okay? But, yeah. So, I feel like we've got to redo the suspension on the Light V. I not redo it. I need new suspension, all right? I need to replace this front fork, and I kind of want to replace I want to go with something else in the back. The old Von Cat shock is just not in it. The old Von Cat 510 shock is just not doing it for me anymore. All right, guys. Yeah, but anyway, the bike ran pretty good. It brakes pretty good, and it's got plenty of power. And we're definitely competitive in the SM3 class. However, like, everyone is faster than me, man. Look at the Super Pole results. Okay, so the fastest time in the last race in SM3, they got a 109, all right? We got 109, 109, 112, and I got a 113. So I'm like 3 seconds slower than everybody. And then Jordan got a 112 also. All right, and I don't know, Jordan's not that super fast on that bike. We're like 3 or 4 seconds off the fastest people. So we're not competitive to be enough in the front of the pack, okay, guys? And I feel that if the bike handled better, then yeah, you know, I just don't got enough grip, man. I have to slow down a lot when I get to the turn. It's like I slow down, and then I'm relying on the bike's power to be fast. All right, guys. Like basically, I'm just pointing and shoot, you know. And I mean, I guess it helps, but not for very long. And then I have another thing is I have to be able to try to clear that first jump. All right, so maybe that's what I'll do in the next race is to practice clearing the first jump. If I break my bike or I break my person, then you guys will find out why. All right, because I didn't clear that jump. All right, I'm telling you, if you don't clear that first jump, then you're gonna have a bad day. All right, yeah. Everyone says, oh yeah, it's easy and stuff, but like no. Okay, definitely the small bikes can't do it, but both of these bikes should be able to do it. All right, I'm almost certain. If Nick can clear it in a TTR 125, then I should be able to clear it on the Light Bee, man. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that dirt section. I've been having problems with that first section like all the time. I have to slow down. We can go. What I do is I go in fast and then I slow down right before the jump and I roll it, and then I speed up a whole lot, try to clear the second one, but we never clear it anyways. But everybody else does. All right, so it's frustrating, man. And it's hurting me. Honestly, I'd rather just race the asphalt then, because if I know I'm slower than everybody in the dirt, then yeah, shit, man, sucks, dude. It's really killing me, man. Because when we get in the dirt, that's when everybody passes me. So and that's kind of usually my forte, right? I'm usually better in the dirt than everybody, but nope, not now. So it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, and then I don't feel comfortable with the grip at all on both of these bikes. All right, I don't know how I could do any better. These tires are pretty soft, man. I mean, this is the tire from last year, but it's still good, man. It's just the grip sucks there. One thing I did before the last race is I lowered the tire pressures. I think I was running like 22 in the rear, and maybe we should lower the tire pressures even more. All right, because we're not tearing the tires at all. All right, I see those guys with the slicks, and they're tearing them big time. All right, and that means your tire is getting too hot and it's like melting. All right, and I'm not doing that on any of these. So maybe we'd be better to just go with the lower tire pressure. So maybe HadesOmega will try to experiment with lower tire pressure. Okay, so maybe we can go under 20. I don't know about going super low tire pressure on the Redshift, because the Redshift is heavier, right? You kind of and also the Michelin tires, they like to have what everyone tells me is you need to have a higher tire pressure for the Michelin tires. But I'm not tearing them. Okay, I'm not tearing the tires though. So if we need more grip, then we're just gonna have to lower the tire pressure so we can keep the heat up. All right, we get more grip. Yeah, so for the Redshift, we definitely need a new rear shock. All right, I know I'm gonna have to rebuild the forks. We'll probably do that at the end of the year, and I don't know what to say. HadesOmega is planning on getting a Varg. Okay, guys. If HadesOmega is going to be racing against 450s, I need something more powerful than the Redshift, unfortunately. The Redshift is really only designed to race against 250s, okay? And then now you got me racing in the back, all right, because all the 450. It's clear as day, guys, all right? Look at the results. All the guys with the 450s are on the front of me, all right? Everybody with 250s or whatever are below me, all right? Or they're like some rookie riders, what can I say? So yeah, we're mid pack, maybe mid pack, all right, with the Redshift, right? It's just, but I thought about it, and I think I want to get some good tires for the Redshift, all right? I'm running takeoffs on the Redshift, and they're just track day tires, all right? Yeah, they're really good, but the race tires that everybody's using they're using like Metzler tires. They're really soft compound tires, all right, and they're getting like a whole lot of grip. I want to see if we can get the lap times down on the Redshift, all right. So I think HadesOmega is going to shell out the big bucks, and maybe I'm going to buy a set of Metzlers, okay. The only thing is, the rear of the Redshift is like it uses a 140 or 150, and yeah, I think we can go up one size. 160 would be one size, so you can either there's like an ideal size, right, in the middle, right? Then you can either go one size shorter, right, or one size one size wider or one size shorter, right? And so 160 is the wider side, 140 is the shorter side, all right? And I'm running 140s on this, all right? Honestly, I think it would handle better with the 150 because that's the proper size tire we gotta have on the bike. But it's very hard to find a 150, all right? And the Metzler doesn't make a 150. So Jeremy was telling me just put a 160 on it. Like, oh yeah. So I think I want to try it. I want. All right, HadesOmega's thinking of. I think I want to get a VARC. All right, so I want to race against the 450s. I need a weapon that has enough power to keep up with the 450s, and I'm pretty sure the VARC could do it. Okay, it's the freaking most powerful dirt bike in the world. All right, guys, and I think that'll do the trick. All right, so HadesOmega is kind of saving up to buy a VARC. All right, I don't know what we're gonna do with the Redshift after. I like this bike, you know, but it's just not fast enough to race against 450s, and nobody races 250s anymore, man. It's like taking a knife to a gunfight type of thing. Okay, guys, but I want to see if we can get our lap times down with some better tires. So HadesOmega gonna probably shell out the big bucks and get some Metzler tires. Okay, so that's the scoop, guys. Yeah, I think I might go with the 160. All right, I hope it fits in there. That's a good question. But the 150 fits, so I don't think a 160 should be much difference, right? I've been using the 140, and I kind of like it. I'm definitely using the whole tire, okay, guys? So I think with the 160, we'll have more rubber, and I can, you know, it'll be more thing. And then we need a softer front, all right? Yeah, that front tire is it's a racy tire, right? It's a soft compound tire, but we can probably get something even softer. So, yeah, so that's the scoop, guys. All right, so tires, man. They make a big difference. All right, and so the Redshift, I'm gonna try to get new tires for the Redshift. The next race is in a few weeks, so I'm see if I can get that. We'll see. I'll be shopping this week. And the Light Bee, I don't really know what we're gonna do with the Light Bee. Just keep it going, basically. All right. It ran pretty beautifully in the last race. All right, as I want to say, but I'm just not getting the grip that I want. Maybe we can we'll lower the tire pressure is what we'll do. Okay, I will try sub 20 psi tire pressures, and we'll see how that works. The bike is really light, so it should be okay to run lower tire pressures on it. All right, really what we can do is we can keep keep lowering the tire pressures till the tires start tearing. All right, and then they know they're getting too hot. All right, because when they tear, then like it basically destroys the tire. All right. And a lot of the guys out there are tearing their tires in, and I'm not. So I must not have, my tire pressure must be wrong. All right, maybe that's why I'm not getting enough grip. But also I feel like the Redshift doesn't want to turn, man. I don't know, man. That course was rough on the Redshift. I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt more comfortable on the Light Bee than the Redshift because the Redshift doesn't change direction as fast as the Light Bee. Okay, and this is that track that you needed to be able to lean the bike over one side to another fast, all right, and it was difficult, all right. But the Light Bee is just kind of too fast for its own good. I'm not gonna lie, all right, guys. It's really we're doing stuff with the Light Bee we weren't. It wasn't designed to do. It wasn't designed to go those kind of speeds and those kind of corners, all right. I'm making it do things it wasn't designed to do, and it's just showing, you know. Okay, but that's what Supermoto is about, all right. Okay. Anyway, so that's the end of the after action review, and those are just some of the things I think we could do to the bike. Yes, I can be. Okay, there is another thing we can try. HadesOmega has to try to clear that first jump. All right, if I can clear the first jump, at least I can get a stronger run up to the second jump, and maybe clear the second jump. So that'll be my goal. Oh my God, it's gonna be scary, guys. Okay, that'll be my goal for the next race. All right, there's one more race coming up in Desert Park Raceway, and I'm gonna try to clear that first and second jump. All right, but. We're gonna have to practice it, all right. We have to do it on both bikes, all right. We have to do it on both bikes, and I know the bikes can do it. It's me, all right. It's a skill issue, okay, guys. It's a skill issue, or it's more like it's a courage issue, all right. HadesOmega has to summon up the courage to clear that jump because I've never cleared it, okay. Yeah, I've tried and I tried. I can't clear the second one, and I know I'm getting plenty of speed going into it, but maybe if we can clear the first one, we'll have enough power to drive to clear the second one. If we can do that, then the suspension will be happier for one thing, all right? my legs will be happier, my ankles will be happier. Because, like, man, I'm telling you, at the end of the race, my ankles were hurting, and those hard landings, dude, they take a toll on your knees and your legs and all that stuff. Yeah, man, they were not happy after the race. I'll tell you that. And yeah, they're just really hard landings going off that second tabletop because I just couldn't clear it. If we could clear it, it'll be a lot smoother. All right, that's the important thing. It'll beat me up less, and beat the bike up less. All right, and it'll make us faster. Okay, we'll be less. We'll be more stable, is what I say. Okay, so that'll be my goal for the next race, to try to clear those, and then we'll run lower tire pressures on the light Bee, and then I'm gonna try to get some better tires for the Redshift. All right, so since I know that we're gonna sell. I don't know what we're gonna do with the Redshift, but HadesOmega is planning to get a Varg. I'd like to see what this bike can do with some good tires. All right, I know these are takeoff bargain basement takeoff tires, and they're really cheap. And yeah, that's the most important. That's the most expensive and the most important part of racing is your tires. Okay, guys. So HadesOmega has learned that the hard way over the years. If you buy cheap tires, then that's what happens. All right, those are the results. so you want to spend as much of your money as you can on the tires. All right. Unfortunately, yes, that is the most expensive thing about racing is the tires. All right. That's why HadesOmega doesn't race the big bikes. Those big bikes go through those expensive tires like fast. Okay, guys. Like in one race, they replaced the tire already. All right, guys. I can't afford that. Okay, guys. I'm poor, dude. But HadesOmega will shell out the big bucks, and we'll get some good tires. All right, some fresh rubber, and we'll see how that does. Okay. One thing I do like about these is once they're used up, I put them on a street bike, and then I just we ride with them on the street with it to wear out that center section. All right. There's still plenty of meat on the center. Oh, you know what? This one is pretty done. Yeah, this tire looks pretty smoked, man. Yeah, that rear tire. That's why the tire wasn't gripping, man. There's no more rubber on it. Okay, guys. All right. That's the end of the after action review, and those are the things I think we have to improve for the next race. All right, thanks for watching. That was Sierra Nevada Moto Championship 2025 round 3. All right, the results: SM3, I got 5th in SM3. All right, and then I got 7th in SM2. Okay, I'd like to race an asphalt class, but it's tiring, man. They made the races longer, and it just. I feel it's better just to do 2 races. All right. I wish I just done all the asphalt races now, because I'm just sucking in the dirt, man. All right. But we'll try to fix that next time. That or HadesOmega will wind up in the hospital. One of the two. Okay, guys. We'll see. All right. Hope not. All right. HadesOmega out. Thanks for watching.